We had some breaking real estate news this week. Interest rates are down yet again. We just dropped under 7%. Will real estate finally become more affordable again in 2024? Or is now still the worst time to buy a house in the last 50 years? What's up, guys? We're heading into the Christmas season, end of 2023. It's actually snowing outside right now, and we're seeing some big changes in real estate. It's heating up for the spring market even right now. So we're talking about what's going on in real estate now and what I see happening in 2024, and a couple more things at the end of this about taxes, insurance, and the billion-dollar lawsuits in real estate, so stick around for those. So what's going on right now, December 2023, real estate is still very slow. Listings and sales always drop about 30% in winter months. But for the past few months, it's been crazy slow, even during the hot months like June, July, and August. Buyers were not buying and sellers were not really selling. There were far fewer transactions even compared to a couple years ago. And now, currently, there are fewer listings and transactions than there were during the mortgage crisis of 2008. However, that looks like it's changing in 2024, and if we keep seeing these interest rates come down, I'll tell you what's gonna happen later in this video. So let's talk about housing affordability, why the market is so slow, and is this really the worst time ever to buy? So stick with me here. I couldn't find one source for both of these numbers, but Forbes.com says average US mortgage payment skyrockets 46% in 1 year. Mortgage rates have shot up rapidly, so the average monthly payment on a 30-year fixed rose by more than $600 in 1 year. From $1,400 per month to $2,000 over 12 months. That's from December 21 to 22. That's last year. And if we jump over to US Bank, this is actually a really great article. I'll put a link for this in the description. It talks a lot about home prices and affordability and where the market has been. The key here is, according to the residential real estate brokerage Redfin, the median monthly payment in November 2023, based on a 30-year mortgage, was $2,600 a month. That's down slightly from an all-time high of $2,700 in mid-October, just a couple months ago. A combination of higher home prices and elevated mortgage rates creates a meaningful headwind for new home buyers. Well, yeah, no kidding. Creates almost impossible situation for a first-time home buyers to buy a house. So just through 2 years ago, in 2021, our average monthly payment was $1,400, and now we're looking at almost $2,700. That is over an 85% increase in mortgage payments in just 2 years. And this is completely true in some areas of Northeast Ohio. I can show you the average home price in the Heights, like Shaker Heights, Cleveland Heights. With the interest rates, we were about $1,200 just a couple years ago, and that is now $2,400 for a house payment. In fact, I just sold one in Shaker Heights. Their mortgage payment's gonna be about $2,600. That exact same house 3 years ago was easily $1,200 a month. So that's the thing. Affordability kind of sucks right now. Now, some realtors will say the interest rates now aren't that bad because they used to be twice this in 1980, and I hear this a lot from people who went through the 1980 market. Rates were 16%, and yes, they were, but we're actually pretty close, and this is very similar to the 1980 market in terms of affordability. So this is from US News. It breaks it down really well. They say the monthly mortgage payment, principal, and interest of a home in 1981, which was absolutely the worst time to buy a house ever, was 18%. A mortgage rate would be almost $831 a month. Accounting for inflation, that $831 house payment back then would be about $2,700 today, which is what we just saw in October. I love when realtors tell me that interest rates used to be so horrible, and now is really not that bad of a time, but it actually is. This is almost exactly the same situation, and a historically horrible low point for affordability in the housing market. So that's one of the biggest reasons that buyers have stopped buying. So that's where we are as of a couple months ago, and I think that is changing. So the short answer is yes, this is a historically bad time to buy a house. Affordability is at an all-time low. And by the way, when I say affordable housing market, we typically think of a mortgage payment that is about 30% of your income or less. And that's kind of the standard. Right now, the average mortgage payment in the US is almost 40% of people's income. Another big reason for the crazy slow market is not just because buyers are hesitant, but more on the seller side. Almost 65% of loans were under 4%. If you look at this Yahoo Finance article, it says 82% of homeowners have a mortgage rate below 5%, 62% have a rate below 4%, and 23% of homeowners have a mortgage rate below 3%, almost the highest proportion with a rate that low on record. In Redfin's view and in everybody's view right now, the stats are the primary drivers of the shortage of new home listings. So homeowners with a mortgage like that are not willing to trade it for a 7.5 or 8% mortgage like we had a few weeks ago. So they're all sitting on their homes because the mortgage payment of the same exact size house would be almost double what they have from just 3 years ago. So it's not that people don't want to buy as much, there's just nothing to buy. Now as we get closer back towards that 4%, or 5%, more sellers are willing to move, and eventually people will either they really want to move, or they'll have to move. And that's one of the big changes I see in 2024. So real quick data about Northeast Ohio, we are still down about 12 to 15% of sales in sales and listings compared to last year. Average sales price in Ohio is up about 3 to 5% versus where we were in 2022. So prices are still rising in Ohio. That's due a lot to that low inventory, sellers not wanting to sell. We're not seeing that all over the country though, which is good. Some major markets are declining even as much as 15%. We won't really see that in Ohio because it's historically a very stable market. We don't see those huge spikes and dips like we do in other areas. What I'm actually seeing in the market, hearing from active buyers and sellers, doing my open houses, showing homes, listing appointments, I'm hearing more buyers say this market, it is what it is. We need to buy or we need to move because of a job, a family, a change of lifestyle, etc. So more buyers are realizing that affordability does suck, but it's not going to get way better in the next few months. So more buyers are coming back into the market. And I think that's a change even from 6 to 12 months ago. A lot of buyers and even sellers were holding on saying, it's gonna change, we'll wait it out, prices have to crash, interest rates are gonna crash. Definitely, I was hearing that 1 to 2 years ago. So buyers are realizing that this is the new reality. Cost of living has gone way up and there's not much we can do about it. It sucks, believe me. I'm trying to buy a house right now too. We're also really struggling to find inventory. Where I would show like 10 houses in one area in a day, I'm now showing buyers 1 house a week. And it's just that limited. There is nothing for people to buy. In some ways though, the market for buyers is better. We're not getting 5 offers on every property, waiving all contingencies. In fact, the last few sales that I had were all offers under asking price. They got inspections. My buyers even got seller paid closing costs. And we weren't seeing much of that in 2022. Certainly not in 2021. For sellers right now, I'm seeing houses sit longer. Most are not going in a day or 3 days. They are still selling for good prices. It might take a week or 2 weeks or a month to sell, but still is a very competitive seller's market. I do still occasionally see multiple offers over asking and gone in a couple days. The really pretty houses, anything in high demand, first floor masters, all updated, great price, great location. The really good deals, they do still go really fast. In fact, the last house I put an offer on was sold in 2 days. It had multiple offers, cash, no contingencies. It was pretty crazy. New listings, on average in the United States, not just Northeast Ohio, are 7% higher than what we had a year ago, which means more people are starting to list their homes than last year. And I think we're gonna see more of that in 2024. That's more good news for inventory. It could slow prices down a little bit because it's all supply and demand. It's good news for buyers all over the country. In our market in Northeast Ohio, we're still not seeing that 7.5% increase as much. It's picking up a little bit, but I think we're gonna see more of that to continue into 2024. Now, a lot of realtors are saying, buy now, don't wait, because interest rates drop and buyers will flood the market, prices will go way up and you'll have serious competition. All of that is based on interest rates coming way down and driving home prices up and a more competitive buyer's market. But if we take a look at the average home, a $300,000 house at an 8% interest rate, we're looking at about $2,400 a month for a mortgage. Now, if we drop from an 8% to a 7%, you're saving less than $200 a month on your mortgage. And I don't think a massive amount of buyers are going to flood the market for a $200 a month savings. Yes, there will be more, but there will also be more sellers because, like I said, if the interest rates come down, they're more willing to list their house. So I don't think this you have to buy now for fear of insane competition is really accurate. As always, nobody really knows what's going to happen. This is just my prediction. Now that's only a 1% drop from 8 to 7, right? But according to this article, these entities are predicting a continued drop to 6% by the end of 2024. And if that actually does happen, I think we're definitely going to see more buyers in the summer, more competition, that's true, but I think we're going to see a lot more sellers as well, raising that inventory level, equaling out the buyer demand. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is that win-win for buyers and sellers, where sellers are still getting a good price for a home, but there's a lot more inventory to choose from for buyers. We're getting inspections, contingencies, maybe some seller incentives. Good news also, Ohio still remains one of the most affordable states for real estate in the country. We're still in the top 10 out of all 50 states. And for general cost of living, we do fall right in the middle. If you need to buy or you want to buy, I would do it. I don't see the market dropping drastically, and there's a chance that it could keep increasing. If you are buying, I would highly recommend that you get everything in order, your financing, your game plan, be ready to move quickly. If you have to budget, do that based on the current interest rate. You can always refinance if interest rates come down, but I would not expect them to drop, so make sure you can afford that payment for the next few years. Sellers in 2024, market's heating up. Start getting ready now. I'm seeing a lot of people start asking, even now, January, February, expect that you'll have to price your homes accurately. Buyers are going to want inspections, maybe some compensations, do as much as you can to make your home very attractive to buyers. A couple more issues that may affect you in 2024. These are really up in the air at the moment, but just to throw them out there so you're aware, I literally just got a call from my insurance agent this morning explaining how she thinks we're gonna see premiums go way up for insurance, even some as much as 100% doubling. But if home insurance goes up, that's gonna affect affordability. I don't really follow it too much, but it might be worth talking to your insurance company or insurance agent about. I've also heard rumors that companies have been declining coverage on homes with roofs older than 15 years. Some companies, not everyone, there's still a lot of them out there. And also homes with knob and tube wiring may be an issue. Again, I'm not an insurance person. That's something you'd have to talk to them about. Just throwing this stuff out there from what I've heard from my insurance people. Second issue, taxes. Everyone loves property taxes. Ohio ranks pretty high for sucky property taxes. There's a lot of talk going on about property taxes in Cuyahoga and Geauga counties going up as much as 30%. I'm not sure where we stand on that, if it's actually going to be that drastic, if it's going to be 30% of your assessed value or your actual tax bill, but it's something to look forward to. And probably a good topic for another video entirely, so subscribe and comment below if you want to know more about that. Lastly, in real estate world, there's a lot of talk, at least between other real estate agents, about the NAR lawsuits. And I don't think a lot of consumers really know what's going on with this. Basically, the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, was just sued for $1.8 billion. It's a lot of money on the issue of price fixing. My understanding of what this really comes down to is realtors charging sellers a 5 to 6 whatever % commission when you sell your home, then offering about half of that to the buyer's agent. The seller pays the buyer's agent commission. The issue is oftentimes sellers aren't aware that they're paying the buying agent. More importantly, a lot of them don't know how much of a split their buyer's agent is actually getting paid. So I'm not an attorney, I don't know the fine details, but this seems like a huge disclosure issue to me. And a lot of sellers are mad that they're paying for the buyer's agent at all. They want that commission reduced. They want to pay their 3%, and then they want the buyers to pay their own representation so that the sellers can save money. I don't want to get too detailed, I just wanted to let you guys know. When you sell a home, typically your agent will charge 5, 6, 7, whatever %, it varies. Almost half of that goes to pay a buyer's agent. So when you buy a home, you don't have to pay an agent out of cost. The reason why they structured this is because home buyers typically don't have the cash to come up with to pay out of pocket for their own representation. Why it's important for you as a seller, you should be asking how much your agent charges, and know that you can negotiate that commission rate. Everything is negotiable. Some realtors will drop it. Some will say, this is my price, this is my percentage, you're getting this much value, I can't go below this. Secondly, you should know how much of that 5, 6%, whatever commission is split to the buyer's agent. If your agent is charging you 6%, but then offering 1 or 2% to a buyer's agent, that is going to discourage a lot of agents from showing your home. Some will tell their buyers they have to make up the difference. Some just won't show it at all, which is not really right, but it does happen. But make sure that your agent is offering a fair split to the buyer's agent, and you know what that is to get your best sale possible. That was a lot, guys. I know. If you have any questions, as always, give me a call, text, or email. And thank you again for watching such a long video. I'll see you guys in the next one.